Hey guys, Michael Loosier, L4 Property Group here in Henderson. Real quick video today. Going to talk about a single page document, but it's a document that is absolutely vital that you discuss with your clients. I have created my compliance checklist and have included this document in the checklist. The reason being is I want to make certain that my agents are having this discussion with their clients. It doesn't matter if it's a buyer, it's a seller. We have to be talking about wire fraud with those people. But this is, like I said, it's a single document that real quick, real easy. I don't necessarily read the document word for word, but I am going to have the discussion with the clients. So let's take a look at it real quick. This is Texas Realtors Wire Fraud Warning. It's TXR 2517. Um, but what this document is it is something that allows us to introduce the conversation about wire fraud. Early on in the process, when we're getting documents signed, when we're creating that relationship, it's not necessarily the first thing that's on our mind. But as soon as we go under contract and you start having earnest money, option money, sent to title company, we need to be having this conversation, right? What this is, and I explain it to my clients when I sit down with them and show them this document. I tell them, the reason I use this document is to make sure I have the conversation with you that at no point in this transaction will myself or my brokerage ask you through email or text or anything to wire funds anywhere. The scammers, if you read this top paragraph to them, it explains a lot. Right, criminals are targeting real estate transactions by gaining access to electronic communications, sending emails that appear to be from a real estate agent, a title company, a lender, or another trusted source. Right, these fraudulent emails seem legitimate and direct you to wire funds to a fraudulent account. Mr. or Miss Client, once you wire funds to the fraudulent account, that money is gone. So always, always, always verify. Most title companies now are using some third party or a two-factor authentication program. Zachem is a big one that's used, but they have several that they're using. But read this next paragraph to them, or hit the high points of it, right? Don't send your personal information, account information, financial information through email or any other unsecured electronic communication. Make sure it's one of these third party vendors that has two factor authentication in it, right? If you receive anything regarding wiring instructions, even if it looks legit, verify. Don't call the number that's on that email. Go back to your communication previously with the title company, with your agent. Look them up, right? Google their address, find their legitimate website, pull the phone number off of there, call and have a conversation with them. Hey, I just received wiring information. It says this. Is that correct? If you don't feel comfortable doing that, load up, drive down there, talk to them in person. But you always hate for something to happen, or you think, oh, what if, what if, what if? But I've had multiple situations where this has happened. Just had one last week. Wasn't our client, it was the other side of the transaction, but they received a text message, gave them wiring instructions. They wired the money without verifying, and that money is gone. So it affects them. You always, always hate to hear anything like that happen to somebody that lost money, but it also affects the entire transaction. They don't have the down payment now to close on the file, so the sellers now are in a bind. Multiple, it's a chain of events that happens. But we have to be having this conversation with every single client. I caution you, if you use AuthentiSign or DocuSign, any type of electronic communication, we get in a bad habit of we ship everything to them, they sign it, we get it back, we send them a copy. Yes, they have signed it, they have acknowledged that they received it, whether they're not, they read it, they are acknowledging they did. This is one of the items that I absolutely am going to circle back and make sure to have a conversation with those clients about. All right, go through what it is, how it happens, what they can do to protect themselves. Right, this says the brokerage will never use any electronic communication such as email, text, or social media messages to ask for wire funds. right? If you think you're being targeted, if you do get an email or a text message, right? And you've looked through it, you're not sure, you made a phone call, you're still not sure. The minute you have questions, the minute you get one, make a phone call, right? Call law enforcement, call your lender, call the title company, call your agent. Let us put our hands on it. The last one, we deal with title companies and lenders often enough that we can usually spot something a little quicker than somebody who's not doing this all the time, right? There was one letter left out of an email, there was a phone number, two numbers were transposed. Very, very minor issues, but they were issues that can throw up a red flag and we can get ahead of it before something happens. Because, like I said, once that money is wired to a fraudulent account and it hits that account, most scammers are immediately pulling that money out and your money is gone. So be proactive. No, we're not going to send that communication out that way. Title company is not going to send that communication out that way. If you do run into one that is just sending paper wiring information, visit with them, discuss your concerns. The biggest thing is we have to keep the client safe. So take the time, go through this form with your client, make sure they understand. I cannot stress to you the importance of getting this document signed, not just to have another document signed, not just to have another piece of compliance to cover us in the transaction, but to protect our clients and to protect their investment and protect the process and make sure they don't fall victim to wire fraud. If you enjoyed this video and would like to learn more about the real estate industry, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.